Hi everyone, my name is ToreiKY and welcome to Misshapen Love. This is a visual novel by Alcor. This was done during the NanoReno 2016. This this honestly, I saw the pictures and I just was like giving me flashbacks of geometry and calculus and I was like, why? But it looks cute, so I'm kind of excited to see what it's about. I'm bored. Here I am, sitting in class on an otherwise lovely spring morning, listening as the professor's assistant attempts to explain how to calculate the derivatives of something. The guy seems to think that finding derivatives is a high art form. Unfortunately for him, everyone else just seems highly uninterested. Even the professor hasn't been in class for a week, claiming to be sick at home. Honestly, I just think he gave up on us. But I have to admire the assistant for his dedication. Despite everyone looking as bored as possible, the guy is actually trying to teach us calculus. Ugh, memories of calculus. No thank you. As for me, I can barely keep myself upright in my seat. My head feels extraordinarily heavy today, as do my eyelids. Sorry. I never know how to properly begin a story. I think it is the hardest part about telling a story, because first impressions are so important. If I can't manage to sound somewhat sensible, you'll just close this game and play something else. Oh, breaking the fourth wall. Oops, I'm technically not allowed to break the fourth wall. she breaks it up. Oh boy. But if you enjoy well-written visual novels with beautiful, thought-provoking plot, this game probably is not for you. In any case, I guess I should do the most cliche thing and introduce myself. My name is Misshapen. I'm a freshman, a first year in college. I'm planning to study art and design. Honestly, I thought that being in the art school meant that I wouldn't have to take any math-related classes. I thought that I was done with math forever. Obviously, I was wrong. Thanks to the art school's general education requirements, I am now stuck in a calculus class alongside 30 other students who don't want to be here. By now, I think everyone, except for the professor's assistant, has realized what a joke this class is. I'd say I feel kind of bad for the guy, but honestly, I just don't care about calculus at all. I should mention that I care for puns even less than I care for calculus. Unfortunately, math is a subject in which terrible puns are common. I am bored out of my mind. Somewhere near the front of the room, a self-proclaimed English major is arguing with another student about the wording of a proof. I'd question how the topic transitioned from derivatives to geometry proofs, but I honestly don't care. I find my mind wandering. See, I use this kind of time to doodle my page. Like my notebook would have little doodles and whatnot. Terrible. Just terrible. To the piece of graph paper on my desk. I'm an art student, so obviously the best course of action is to doodle. Is this secretly me? Oh boy. But I wouldn't do it on graph paper because that was expensive. I just did it on regular notebook paper. For no particular reason, I draw a circle. I don't even think it qualifies as a doodle. It's just a circle. Still, the simplest act of drawing a circle felt unexpectedly refreshing. Why didn't I think of this earlier? I stare at the circle, and it stares back soullessly. Of course it's soulless. It's completely empty on the inside. When I was young and terrible at drawing, I like to doodle geometric shapes on everything. I like to draw using crayons because crayons are easy to color with, and I thought the shapes looked boring without the coloring. In honor of the memory, I take out my colored pencils and color in the circle. When I was young and terrible at storytelling, I also liked to pretend that my doodles, my terrible geometric shapes, were characters. I like to give them distinct personalities and names. Creative names like circle and triangle, of course, but names nevertheless. Obviously, I'm still terrible at telling stories, so I will name the circle Circle. Circle looks awfully lonely, so I decided to draw it with some friends. I named the triangle Triangle and the square Square. You are so creative. You're just on point with this. The three colors don't seem especially friendly to one another. Actually, they seem to clash. I find my mind wandering in even more bizarre directions. You're sharp, Triangle, but you're not right. Neither are you. Your arguments are completely pointless. I'll be square with you. Come on, sweetheart. Oh, let's make this a little country. My bad. I'm gonna figure out voices as I go along. Come on, sweetheart. You've only made 3 points, and they're not even good. Whoa! I decided to draw a purple star on my terrible comic to represent me. I'll be. There's an awkward silence. I take in my surroundings and notice that the landscape is graph paper as far as my eyes can see. Not that geometric shapes have eyes, obviously. It's just a figure of speech. I look back at my new companions who, as far as I can tell, are staring at me with intense curiosity. I make my best attempt to stare back with equal intensity. Are you admiring my red-hot bod, sweetheart? I notice the circle has a feminine voice. My bad. I'll figure out these voices eventually. For some reason, I'm not all surprised. Both Triangle and Square have masculine voices, although Triangle's voice is noticeably softer. Okay. Are you flirting with me? Sure am. I didn't know you rolled that way. I'm a circle, sweetheart. I can roll any way. I'm not at all straight. No straight edges, see? I attempted to read Triangle and Square's emotions, but that is impossible as they show neither facial expressions nor body language. I tried to have no reaction to the puns. I'm completely straight in any case you're wondering. Why should I even tell you? At this point, I attempted to change the subject by introducing myself. I'm Star. Cute name, Circle. My name's Square. He's Triangle. We'll call him Try. Nice to meet you all. Doll, you're adorable. I awkwardly survey the area and see that the 4 of us seem to be the only inhabitants of this piece of paper. Seeing no excuse with which to gracefully escape my new companions, I turn back to them and attempt to start a conversation. So, what were you all arguing about? Oh, I don't remember. Nothing important, you know. Now that you remind me, I wasn't done. What? Circle rolls toward me playfully and starts to speaking in a very sugary voice. Try and I tried to argue over all sorts of small things. I'm just pointing out when you're wrong. Be quiet for a moment, Try, will ya? Oh man, I'm like having issues getting these accents down, my bad. Circle rolls even closer to me. How about we make you a deal, sweetheart? If you go on a date with one of us, then we'll stop arguing. You can get a free tour around the area, and whoever you pick will get the honor of being in your company. It's a win-win situation. But there isn't anything to tour around the area. I have to agree with Square on this one. Shush, you two. Don't ruin the mood. So, what do you think, Star? I think about it, and I find no reason to not take the deal. I can't think of anything better to do anyways, and it might be fun to spend some time with these geometric shapes. More importantly, I can end their argument and therefore also relieve myself from the terrible puns they keep throwing at each other. I'll take your deal. Oh! Wait, what? Obviously, please circle rolls back to where triangle and square are standing. You're not serious, right? Please tell me you're not serious. Star, you see before yourself two alluring bachelors and one bachelorette with whom you can go on a date. Tell us, who would you choose today? I think about it and I choose... Ooh, I should have saved before this. Oh, I can save. Still time to save. Return. You know what? Let's go with circle first. I choose circle. You mean it? I do. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. I'm out. Bye. Triangle and square speed off, leaving the two of us alone. I'm not a conversational person by nature, but fortunately circle is. Ah, first date. Tell me, sweetheart, what would you like to do? Well, I don't know. What is there to do here? I can give you a tour. Would you like a tour? That would be nice. Thank you. As I soon found out, the graph paper is actually a fairly small space. But as I also soon found out, circle is a lot more energetic than I expected. This is the top right corner of the graph paper. I see. I don't actually see. This area looks exactly the same as the last area we were in. Well, this is the bottom circle area. Interesting. I actually didn't find it interesting, but this is definitely a lot of exercise. This is the bottom left. Ah, now I'm just out of breath. I didn't know geometric shapes could be out of breath. Falling slower now. And this is where we began, the top left area. Star, you okay? Yeah. Let me catch my breath. You don't seem tired at all. You know what they say, they see me rolling. Yeah. My entire star-shaped body feels sore. Would you like to stay here and just talk for a while? Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Sorry for leading you around in circles. I thought I accepted Circle's deal to escape the terrible puns. Obviously, I was wrong. I try to talk about innocuous topics. Tell me about yourself, Circle. Myself? Well, between Tri, Square, and I'm known as the Flirt. I'm surprised you chose me. After all, I get around, you know. Being the most talkative of the geometric shapes, Circle is obviously also the most prone to making puns. I wonder if I made a terrible mistake. I see. So, are you also the most popular? Sure am. I have a lot of hobbies, so it's easy for me to find something to talk to each individual about. To be honest, I'm quite well-rounded. I can't tell if she's making puns on purpose or if she just does so habitually. I quickly changed the topic. In that case, do you draw? Sometimes. I'm not great at it, but would you like me to draw you a portrait? Mine can be drawn as a circle. Please do. Look away for a moment, will you? I look away for a moment. Aww. She did draw a star. And done. I look back. There's now a picture of a purple star on the ground. Doesn't it look just like you? It does. Thank you. You're welcome. I tried to make you look as cute as possible. You're the star of the show. I experienced a short existential crisis in which I remember that I am a character in a terrible atomic game who is daydreaming about being a geometric shape. I quickly snap out of it. I look a bit lonely. Can we draw you as well? Sure thing. Within moments, a picture of a red circle appears on the ground. I don't know what Circle is using to draw, or how she has managed to draw without any arms. I probably shouldn't ask. Looking good! Don't we look cute together? We complement each other so well. I'm not sure if compliment is intended as a math joke. To be safe from further puns, I try to lead the conversation to a different direction. Let's draw them drawing together. Sure. A tiny purple star and a tiny red circle appear on the graph paper. Doll, tiny star is so adorable too. Let's draw their drawing together too. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be just oh my gosh, just more and more. An even tinier purple star and red circle appeared. The tiny star looks almost like she twinkles. Can you draw us even smaller? At this point, I can barely distinguish the shapes anymore. The star and the circle look like mere dots now. I admire the art, feeling vaguely flattered that Circle is willing to draw portraits of me. It looks nice. Star? I look at Circle, who now seems a lot less flirtatious and a lot more hesitant. Yes, Circle? Can I tell you something? I mentally prepare myself for terrible puns. Yes? What is it? Circle pauses and steps back a bit. When I was younger, I was made fun of for being different. The other shapes told me I didn't deserve to play with them because, unlike everybody else, I didn't have any angles or edges. Because I'm so curvy, I was often judged for my body. When everyone else realized that I'm not straight, I felt even more ostracized. Oh, you poor thing. Oh. I felt that no one understood me. When I was lonely, I often doodled characters and pretended to talk to them. For some reason, this story sounded vaguely familiar. I suddenly felt closer to Circle. I feel like I understand her personality and motivations, and I feel like I want to know her better. So as I grew older, I acted more and more flirtatious and outgoing so people wouldn't think I'm pathetic. But really, I'm scared. I'm scared that people don't like me. Oh, I want to give you a hug. I'm scared that I'll never truly belong with anyone. Although this feels like a very cliche situation, I try my best to play the part of an otome game protagonist. Circle. Oh! At the dramatic climax of my daydream, my hand grabs the graph paper off my desk. I look up and realize that it's a self-proclaimed English major from the geometric proof argument. I instantly notice how confident and lovely she looks. Are you making comics? This looks adorable. Yeah. She turns her attention to me and smiles sweetly. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Rachel Deuce, but please call me Ray. I'm an English major, and I want to become a journalist. Okay? She looks at me curiously as I try not to stare. I'm Misshapen. I'm an art student. Aw, that's such a cute name. A pleasure to meet you. She turns her attention back to the graph paper. I feel an urge to climb under my desk in embarrassment, but I try to sit up right as possible. I discreetly look around the room to see if anyone else is watching, but the room is mostly empty. I somehow didn't notice the end of class bell. Well, how did you do that? Trust me, it is easy to hear a bell and dash. My bad. It looks like you drew a lot of little circles and stars. I turn back to Ray and try to look as straight-faced as possible. Yeah. I also see some tiny circles and stars. Did the bigger ones have children? No. I awkwardly realize that my face is probably flushing red. Still, I stare at Ray, who is grinning at me. You're so cute when you're flustered, you know. I have to go now because I have another class to get to, but we should get lunch together sometime and talk. She hitting on me? Is it because oh, I'm so dumb. I just noticed her circle earrings. Oh, your circle. We're gonna end up dating, aren't we? Yeah, okay. I suddenly realized that I too have another class to attend. Bye, Ray. And so I bolt out of the classroom. I can hear Ray laughing behind me. And that was a story of how I daydreamed about dating a circle. Oh, that was cute. Alright, let's go with square. I choose square. Wait, really? All the three of us, you chose square. Aw, how cute. Try, let's let them have their alone time. Yeah. Square's really serious. Good luck with him. Of the three geometric shapes I could have chosen, square is definitely the hardest to understand. He seems very disinterested, but I'm not sure because I can't tell what he's thinking at all. I wonder if I made the wrong choice. To be square with you, I'd offer you a tour if there was anything around here to tour. I see. That's okay. Thanks anyways. Alright. We fall silent again. Square doesn't seem to find the silence awkward, but I'm not sure because I can't tell what he's thinking at all. He's such a guy. He doesn't sound interested in anything, especially not me. If this counts as a date, it certainly isn't a successful one. I attempt to begin a conversation. Tell me about yourself, Square. To be square with you, I'm just a blue square. I see. I've been told that I'm a very serious square. Circle and triangle often complain that I am too serious. To be square with you, I'm... Everything starts with to be square with you. Wait a moment. Why do you keep saying that? Why do I keep saying what? To be square with you? Self-deprecating humor, maybe? I don't think it's self-deprecating. It just sounds like a bad sense of humor. Honestly, Square's sense of humor is a lot worse than Circle and Triangle's terrible puns. And I try to avoid puns like the plague. I find myself thinking that I definitely made the wrong choice. Do you mind not saying that every other sentence, Square? Sure, but why? Because it's repetitive and the player probably thinks the game developer wrote that to pad her word count for the script. Oops, fourth wall, sorry. I try to explain myself in the sweetest, totally protagonist way I can think of. Because I don't want you to be self-deprecating. You're a great Square, and I wish you could believe in yourself more. Thank you. Anytime. I can't tell if my cliche motivational speech was successful. Square still doesn't seem interested in me. If he is, I can't tell at all. I try to start another conversation. What do you like to do in your free time, Square? To be I like to contemplate about the meaning of life, the universe, and existence. Now the conversation is going somewhere. I feel relieved to finally have something somewhat interesting to talk about. That's interesting. How do you do that? I usually lie on the graph paper and think about everything I could think about. Would you like to try it with me? I usually only lie on the ground when I feel like garbage. Usually after a very large meal. Okay. I wonder if this activity causes Square to be self-deprecating. I don't see why not. What should I do? Move over a bit and find some space. Lie down on the graph paper and don't talk. I'm fairly certain that both of us are already lying on the ground since we are geometric shapes on a piece of paper. Still, I attempt to follow his instructions as closely as possible. Is this good? Yes. Now we think about the meaning of existence. My mind feels empty, and I feel somewhat sleepy. I don't think this is working. Square, were you arguing with Circle and Tri earlier? No, they wanted me to decide which of them was correct, because I am always fair and square. Square sounds completely serious, and I assume that he's not purposely trying to sound punny. I try to ignore his pun. I see. Do you never argue with them? Of course not. To be square with you, I am always right, no matter which angle you're looking at. We both fall silent again. Square is definitely challenging to talk to. The only way I can get him to talk to me is evidently by asking him a question. I feel guilty for distracting him from his thoughts, but I don't know what else to do while lying on the ground. Time to talk again and start another conversation. Square? Yes? What are you thinking about? I'm thinking if two squares become romantically involved with another, would that be square times square? I would assume so. Would you call that square squared then? Or would you call that a cube? I try to wrap my head around that idea, but I can't. I wouldn't want to actually wrap my head around anything, honestly. It sounds painful. Although, given that I am currently a purple star, I'm not sure which part is actually my head. Still, I feel strangely enlightened. I don't know. I would probably call it a ship. Ship? As in relationship? To be square with you, that term might be better applied to bottom-up trapezoids. That is true. Square seemed to be deep in thought again. I try to be deep in thought as well. I wonder what I could call a square times star couple. A square starship? A square affair? The start of a square. No, I must not make terrible puns. Square star. Squar. Squar. Stare. Starware. I vaguely remember one of my friends, a girl who is notoriously bad at coming up with ship names. I wonder if talking to her has ruined my naming sense. I also wonder why I am shipping a star with a square at all. I remember another one of my other friends, a self-proclaimed Fujoshi who jumps at a chance to ship male characters together. Square times triangle. Square angle. Squangle. Triangular? I can no longer tell how terrible my ship names sound. Instead, my mind wanders away toward a mostly unrelated direction. I wonder what my friends are doing in their classes. They're not stuck in calculus class like I am, but I wonder if they're bored. I wonder if they're also doodling weird things. Or maybe they're coming up with weird ideas for stories to write. I wonder, are our actions important to the grand scheme of existence? Now she's thinking about it. Are my actions meaningful? Can I shape the universe? Somewhere out there, is someone watching me? Is someone playing the game of my life? Is someone making my important life decisions for me and watching the consequences of my choices? If I am just a character to the players, am I still real? Are you real, player? I somehow wrap my head around the meaning of existence, metaphorically, and become one with the universe. I feel as if I have broken beyond the limitations of the fourth wall. You appear deep in thought. I am distracted by Square's sudden words and lose my concentration. Oh, yes, I was. What were you thinking about? I pause dramatically and try to sound as enlightened as possible. I was thinking about the meaning of existence. I see. And what is it? Finally, Square seems somewhat interested in something I am saying. This is definitely a success. Am I a human daydreaming about being a geometric shape? Or am I a geometric shape dreaming about being human, who is in turn daydreaming about being a geometric shape? Am I real? Are you real, Square? The players who are currently watching our every action, are they real? What was that? To be square with you, I think you broke my fourth wall. I look towards Square and realize that one of his sides is now cracked. Oh no! What have I done? Just when I was able to pique Square's interest. Are you okay? Please, quiet down. To be square with you, I have been mortally wounded. What? What, mortally wounded? Yes, I'm sorry, Star. I thought we could take our time and get to know one another slowly, but that is not to be. He's starting to. Oh no! Square, don't die. I'm sorry, Star. Oh no, he's falling. Why is this happening? No! To be square with you, I've always wanted to tell you. And he's square, he's got the glass. Miss Misshapen, what do you think you're doing? At the dramatic climax of my daydream, I am suddenly interrupted by the professor's assistant. He does not seem very pleased with me. I look around the classroom to see if any of my classmates might be able to help me. Then I realize that the professor's assistant and I are the only two left in the classroom. You didn't hear the end of class bell? Shocked by the situation I am in now, I look straight at the professor's assistant. I am sorry. He looks at me somewhat kindly, and I suddenly realize how good looking he is. You appeared deep in thought. You didn't pay attention during class, did you? I awkwardly nod. Surprisingly, he doesn't seem angry at all. Don't worry. To be frank with you, I'm not as serious about the class as I act. That's good to hear. I suddenly realized what he said. Wait. Is your name Frank? Yes, it is. Frank Sugai, professor's assistant. How'd you guess? I'm joking. It's actually just self-deprecating humor, right? Frank and I stare at each other for a moment. I can't read his facial expressions very well, but I think he was probably surprised. How did you guess? I dramatically look toward the clock in the classroom and try my best not to laugh. Lucky guess. Oops, I have to run to my next class. See you later, Frank. And so I bolted out of the classroom, as expected. Frank didn't try to stop me. And that was the story of how I daydreamed about dating a square. Oh man, I wonder who Triangle is. I choose Triangle. Wait, what? I didn't agree to this. I'm not interested in dating at all. Oh, how cute. Square, let's let them have their time alone. Sure. What? No! Try tends to act like a jerk, But he's actually a sweetheart. Just a tsundere, you know. I'm sure he'll warm up to you in no time. True to their word, Circle and Square sped off, leaving the two of us alone. Unfortunately, neither of us are very friendly and conversational by nature. I wonder if I made the wrong choice. Maybe I just need to make the right effort. Why are you standing so far away? Come closer. No, why should I? This is certainly going to be fun. I suddenly remember the otome games I played in the past. I've successfully romanced many tsundere love interests, so triangle can't be too hard to deal with. It's time to speak like a cheesy otome game protagonist. I began moving towards him. I wanted to talk to you, Triangle. But I don't want to talk to you. Simple flattery doesn't seem to be working. I have to try harder. Do you know why I chose you over Circle, Try? Because I'd rather spend time with you than spend time with Circle. It's as simple as that. Won't you give me a chance? Success! So easy. Please, come a bit closer. Oh, he's actually... Good enough. I've really succeeded. Thank you. Now, what do you think we should do? I don't know. I don't care either. Triangle still sounds very cold towards me. I must try harder to capture his heart. Would you like to give me a tour, as Circle suggested? No. Mentioning Circle at all seems to be a mistake. I feel like my success was suddenly reset and I have to start again from nothing. I try to start a conversation with the most generic conversation starter I can think of. Tell me about yourself, Try. Why should I? Well, I want to know you better. Did that work? Fine, I'm Triangle. Happy now? Not really. Good, I wasn't trying to make you happy anyway. I feel distinctly annoyed because Triangle's attitude is just rude. Look, I chose you so I could get to know you a little better. Will you at least make an effort and pretend to be interested? No, I never agreed to this. I'm being forced to talk to you. I'm not forcing you to talk to me. I would appreciate if you did, however, as I am stuck with you for the time being. I don't care what you appreciate. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you anymore either. Triangle and I stand silently and I don't know what to say next. Fortunately, Circle appears just at the right moment. How you two getting along? Circle. You sound relieved to hear me. How you, Star? Triangle's being a jerk. What? That's not cute, no, Try. Aren't you supposed to be in a cute triangle? If you won't treat Star right, I'll steal her from you. Don't come any closer. Triangle seems to be rather upset. I know that Circle wants the best for me, but I'm a bit concerned about Try. Would you like to make this a love triangle? Will that motivate you to be nicer to Star? I can even call it square, and we can turn this into a rectangle. Circle. Just be a bit friendlier, Try, won't you? If I hear Star complaining about you again, I'll come back and rescue her from you. Have fun, you two. Circle leaves as quickly as she arrived. I look at Triangle, but he doesn't seem eager to approach me again. Sorry about that, Try. Please come towards me again? He does. Triangle doesn't seem to want to come any closer, so I drop the subject. This time I ask him to pick our conversation topic. What do you want to talk about? Nothing. Still as cold as ever. Look, I'm sorry about Circle. Forget it. Okay. Then let's talk about something else. I'm triangle, and I'm yellow, and I'm a jerk. Happy now? What? You told me to tell you about myself. Happy now? I vaguely remember attempting to start a conversation by asking him to tell me about himself. His attitude still annoys me, but I'm trying not to show it. Yeah, maybe. Anything else? Tell me more about yourself? What do you want to know? I don't know. Tell me what you want to talk about. I don't know. You tell me. I feel myself losing my patience. Why do you keep speaking in circles? I don't. I'm a triangle. Don't compare me with circle. Okay, do you even want to talk? Not particularly. Then why are you even here? Why don't you just walk away? Just because. I stomp up to his triangle as much as a star can stomp anyway. Why are you so difficult? Circle said you'll warm up to me in time, but you're still as rude as ever. Circle this, circle that. Why do you keep talking about Circle? Why didn't you date her then? And I did warm up to you, I just... Triangle suddenly goes quiet. We both seem to finally realize what he said. I don't know if it's my imagination, but he seems to be turning more orange. Can you say that again? No, I didn't say anything. I feel my anger dissipating and I pretend that he said it again anyway. That's so sweet, Tri. I wasn't trying or anything. Triangle seems to realize what he said and he turns noticeably more orange. He is. Why do you keep saying mean things, Triangle? I don't know. I just do that. You drive me crazy. I don't know how to deal with you. Even though Triangle's word sounds almost ridiculously cheesy, he still sounds adorable. He's slowly turning purple. You're actually really cute. Well, what? That wasn't a compliment or anything. You a cute Tri... Oh, hello there. At the dramatic climax of my daydream, a scrunched up ball of paper hits my desk and bounces away. I look up and realize that it's the boy who was arguing with the self-proclaimed English major about geometric proofs earlier. Did you throw that? Yeah. You seemed out of it, and you didn't notice the end of class bell at all. I look around and true enough, the classroom is empty except for the two of us. I stare back at the boy and realize that he's kinda cute. So, who are you? Me? Angel Chai. Who are you? Misshapen. We stare awkwardly at each other for a moment. Well, if that's it, goodbye. I have a class to go to. Wait! What? Thanks for letting me know that class ended. It was sweet of you. But what? I wasn't trying or anything. I suddenly realized what I said and conveniently remembered that I have another class to run to. Okay, Anel. I have to run. Bye. Wait, what? And saying that, I bolt out of the classroom. As expected, Angel didn't say anything more. And that was the story of how I daydreamed about dating a triangle. Well, that's Misshapen Love. That is so cute. Ah! I don't mind dating these shapes. They're adorable. Congratulations, you have played through all 3 routes of Misshapen Love. I'm Alcor, the developer of this game. What would you like to hear about? Ooh. Well, NanoReno 2016 has been an invaluable experience for me. Please sit tight because this will be a fairly rambly post-mortem look at the month of March 2016 and a bit of April. In February, I joined a development team for the first time ever, Catfish Crew, the team who has been working tirelessly on Lads in Distress. When I joined as a GUI designer, I wasn't expecting for its team atmosphere to be so homely and warm, but my fellow team members had been nothing but encouraging and supportive. Still, when I decided to create this visual novel on my own alongside the team project, I underestimated the amount of work I would have to take on. During the first week of March, I worked on GUI and other assets every day. I worked on the GUI for both Lads in Distress and Misshapen Love, simultaneously balancing my Nano workload with my schoolwork. Most of the basic GUI elements for both games were completed in the first week, and I thought that finishing 2 games in a month was definitely doable. I posted daily on my blog, intending to have something to show every day. Obviously, that didn't last long. By the second week of Nano, I was working on ending CGs. However, I also had major school projects and I had to finish my task on time. I began sleeping less and less. My pace became sluggish. Around this time, I also realized with despair that I was suffering from writer's block, and I thought that all the writing I tried to do looked terrible. I decided to scrap what I had written and start over, but the rewritten script looked as terrible as well. During the 3rd week of March, I had a week off from school for spring break. However, instead of catching up on sleep I probably needed, I decided to work nonstop on all the projects I was falling behind in. Around this time, I finished all the GUI tasks for Lads in Distress. To distract myself from writing the script for Misshapen Love, I formulated a story for Part 2 and created a lot of assets for that. The original high contrast style for this project was homage to the Japanese game Divine Gate, but I was tired of drawing like that and I wanted to draw in a different style. I thought that drawing every day would motivate me to finally start writing, but alas, it did not. Then I pretty much gave up. I realized that it was probably better if I didn't make Part 2 at all, so I stopped working on this project. I still couldn't bring myself to write, so I took on more tasks for Lads in Distress, including the creation of a few ending CGs, and finished those tasks as well. I didn't touch this project for 2 weeks, wondering if it would just fade into oblivion like so many of my previous projects. On April 6th, one day before the deadline for NanoReno, I decided I would try to work with what I had. In the following 36 hours between class, team celebration of the Lads in Distress release, and a few hours of sleep, I worked to write the entirety of the script for this game. I still thought, and I still think right now as I am writing these notes, that the writing is terrible, but it is better than what was before. I didn't end up making a deadline, but I forged onward. One of my friends from Catfish Crew, Caleb, also known as Sea Sky, offered to help with the music. This current track, as well as the main menu music, were written by him. He also helped select most of the sound effects and other background tracks. Thanks, Caleb. As usual, I underestimated the amount of work I would have to do to complete the script and create a mostly functional game. But if you've downloaded this game, you know that eventually I did finish it. If you'd been catching typos and bugs throughout the game, then I sincerely apologize, as I had not had time to test everything thoroughly. Since NanoReno had been a wild ride for me, and I thank you for reading this ramble and for playing this game. This game is the product of many sleepless nights and bizarre daydreams. I hope you enjoyed the game as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you're interested in a fantasy otome game with reversed fairy tales, please give Lads in Distress a try. I fully intend to participate in NanoReno again next year, but hopefully I'll have a better plan at the beginning of the month. Wow, that was really interesting. I'm glad I took a moment to look it up. Let's look at the inspiration. The story of Misshapen Love first came to existence one sleepless morning when I was chatting with one of my friends from the Catfish Crew development team, Wind Chimes. I was sitting in class drawing thumbnails of some posters I was supposed to make and chatting with Wind Chimes on Google Hangouts. The conversation went something like this, warning for all caps. I'm literally sitting here drawing rectangles. I bet you draw pretty rectangles. They all look pretty normal to me though. My rectangles are never rectangles. They look like rhombuses in disguise. Or squares. An offspring loves child of a rhombus and square. That makes me want to make a dating sim. With rectangles and a triangle and a circle, etc. And the rest is history. I knew from the start that the square would be serious and the circle would be a flirt and the triangle would be a tsundere. I also knew that the shapes would human parallels. They wouldn't turn into humans because that would be too far-fetched. Not that the entire game isn't far-fetched. As I started drawing the ending CGs, I decided that it would be fun for the circle to be a female. I imagined her bubbly and talkative, well-intentioned, but sometimes too enthusiastic for others to handle. Rachel is a sophomore studying English, and I thought she would make a great journalist someday. Frank's design was decided from the beginning. I always knew I would draw a guy with blue square glasses. I wasn't sure how to write his dialogue to sound serious without being utterly boring, but in the end, even though he has less lines than the others, his route is my favorite. Frank is a junior studying math, and he works as the professor's assistant to help pay for his college tuition. I struggled with Angel's hair color for a long time, trying everything from gray-black to brown to bright green. In the end, my friends at Catfish Crew voted for red. I imagine Angel is a somewhat snarky guy who's completely unwilling to admit to being sweet. Angel is a freshman like Mia, and he intends to study computer science. Design-wise, I think Mia is my favorite. In the beginning, I debated whether to make her shape a pink heart or a purple star. I ended up deciding that the purple looked nicer with the green than the pink did. I'm especially fond of seeing characters break the fourth wall, but as I made this game, I wasn't sure how much I wanted Mia to talk about being an Otome game protagonist. Needless to say, she ended up talking about it a lot. I am pretty proud of how far Mia has come as a character, and I hope you liked her too. Part 2 of Misshapen Love? Oh yay! Now announcing Part 2 of my NanoReno 16 project, Misshapen Love. Part 1 of Misshapen Love is a short, silly, lighthearted otome in which the main character can attempt to date geometric shapes. Information about Part 1 can be found here and here. Part 2 will be significantly different in artistic style, and the tone will be much more serious. Although there are technically no choices in Part 2, it is not a kinetic novel. For NanoReno, I'm planning to complete Part 1 and start the script and other assets for 2. Indeed, at one point I intended for Misshapen Love to be a 2-part visual novel. What you have played was only supposed to be Part 1. Aww. I am no longer planning to develop Part 2, however, and I will explain why in a bit. Completely scrapping Part 2 was a difficult decision, especially since I had put a lot of work into creating assets for it. For example, all the main character sprites are completed along with some of the sprites' expressions. Here's Mia's design in Part 2. I was planning to tweak the design of her cap, but I didn't find a time to do so in the end. Here are Rachel, Frank, and Angel's designs in Part 2. I changed the accessories that are related to their geometric shapes. Ray's earrings, Frank's glasses, and Angel's hair clips because they looked rather comical with those accessories. And this is Hiro, a character that does not appear in Part 1. If he were a geometric shape, he would be a hexagon. Originally, I wanted to make a Part 2 for Misshapen Love because Part 1 felt too short and simple. I tended to overthink my stories, and sometimes I probably tried too hard to make them seem meaningful. I decided to cancel development of Part 2 when I realized that it was deviating from my original goal, to create a simple and sweet game that just might make the players laugh. Unfortunately, Part 2 would have completely overridden the humor and light-hearted tone of Part 1, and as such, will no longer be developed. I'm so sad! I would have loved to see this. If you heard about Part 2 during NanoReno 16 and were looking forward to it, I sincerely apologize. I will not go into details here about what I had planned for Part 2, but if you're interested, please feel free to send me a message. I might release some of the completed sprites for Part 2 as a Creative Commons assets later. Aww, that's too bad. This was a really cute game, and such a sad realization that there could have been more to it and could see more of the characters and whatnot. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!